Greetings, car fanatics. This is my 2010 Porsche 911 Carrera S, and it's over 13 years old. Today we're going to be replacing the bump stops on the front because they're completely worn down. I'm going to show you how to do this real quick without even removing the struts. So for this installation, we're not going to be removing the entire strut and taking it apart just to get to these bump stops. I'm going to show you my hack, which is literally going to be hacking this bump stop in half, putting it on. But don't worry, I'll show you how to do it and make sure it's nice and secure. So to get this job done, you're going to need a new bump stop. For my car, I have the sport suspension that's a little bit lower, so you'll notice that this bump stop is actually shorter than the normal one you will find on the 997. You also need a razor, some super glue, and a couple of clamps, and you also need a jack to lift up the car. Alright, so let's start by jacking up the front of the car. So this is what the bump stop is supposed to look like, but check out what we have here. Alright, so that bump stop is just crumbling apart. I can just rip it off. Terrible. The other half of the bump stop is under this dust cap over here. Alright, so this is the other half of the bump stop. Let's go ahead and take that off. Alright, so as you can see, this is what is left with the bump stop. And we're going to be hacking this new bump stop and putting it in. And I know people are going to be saying that is not the proper way to do it. And hear me out. These are very cheap. They're about 15 bucks each. And I don't want to do all the work of removing the strut just to put these in. So when the strut actually goes bad, I'm going to take everything apart, put some new ones in along with the struts and various components. But for now, I need these bump stops to get me by. Just in case I hit a big bump, my wheels don't end up hitting the chassis of the car and bending some things. So we're going to cut this in half, we're going to put it in, and we're going to glue it back together, and it's going to be a hell of a lot better than this crumbly mess. Alright, so let's go ahead and take our bump stop and cut it in half. We're going to just follow the seam over here. Alright, the razor was not cutting it, so we're actually switching to a kitchen knife. So let's go ahead and cut this. It's working pretty well. Alright, we got our bump stop all cut, and we're going to put super glue to hold this together. And I've already tried this on the other side and can tell you that the super glue holds very well. Alright, so we're going to lift this up, and then we're going to put the bump stop below the cover over here, because the cover needs to slide right to right here, and this part's going to keep it in place, and then this piece sticks up above it, so this needs to go underneath. Alright, now let's go ahead and apply our super glue, then we're going to clamp this together and let it dry. And you just want to make sure to apply the super glue and not get it on the metal shaft. Let's now go ahead and clamp this together. Alright, we've let the super glue dry for about 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and pop this off. And let's test how well this is holding. Alright, so it looks pretty good. I cannot pull this apart. So I think this is going to hold up well. Let's go ahead and slip the cover on. And let's get this to go over the top. Alright, well there you have it. We got the bump stop. And let's move it to the utmost position. Alright, well you check that out. It looks really nice, and look, I'm trying to pull this apart, and the bond is actually pretty good. We also have this cover over here that's keeping these two pieces together. So that's going to add some additional strength. Even if the glue does let go, we have this plastic cover piece that's going to keep that in place. And really, when we compare it to the old bump stop that's deteriorating, that really wasn't doing anything, having this, even if it is split, is still going to be better than what we have here. It's going to give me protection in case I hit a big bump so my tires don't hit any of the surrounding material over here and potentially damage my car. So we've had the bump stops in for about 100 miles, and as you can see, the bump stops are still in one piece. The super glue is holding nice and strong. You do have a bit of dirt right at the seam, so it might appear that the bump stop is separating, but I can assure you it has not. So far, so good. All right, there you have it, car fanatics. That's how you replace the bump stops without removing your struts. In my case, I think this is going to work out nicely, and it'll buy me some time until I remove the struts and fix all the other worn out suspension components in the near future. Well, thanks for watching, car fanatics. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Leave me comments or questions below, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you're notified each time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching.